Hello, Gemini. This is Sunshadow Tarot with your long-form love reading. Today, we are going to discuss, why does love elude you? We're going to go into a deep dive into this. Many people do a general love forecast, but we'd like to go into this very specific question. And so what I'll be doing is doing a reading with several decks, and we will explore this with the cards all in context, and we will see where it leads us. Okay, so I hope you have been enjoying the daily readings that I've been giving. They appear as shorts. And I've also have some other readings. I hope you check them out. Check out the entire channel. Okay, let's start. Let's do one more shuffle here. Okay, Three of Cups. We have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles. That's very interesting. So many eights. The Five of Pentacles. Okay, I want to stop and do some reading right here. The Three of Cups basically shows that, at least superficially, things seem to be going pretty well. I mean, you enjoy life, you enjoy having a good time with your friends, but it seems that changes are happening. Changes have happened, basically, maybe in your mentality about love, and maybe you just don't think about love the same way that you used to, and that could result in you feeling a bit trapped. You know, is this new way of feeling about love correct? Was the old way about feeling about love correct? It looks like in the past, though, love may have been a bit of a project for you, maybe even a bit of a chore sometimes. Maybe you thought about it as a means to an end, such as maybe marrying into the right class, or maybe it was a bit of elevation. It could be. I mean, a lot of people do think about marriage and love in that respect. Or it could have been, this also indicates that perhaps your past loves were involved with your workplace, your career. Right now, though, it looks like things aren't going particularly the way you want them to, and you feel a bit on the needy side. Not saying that you're needy in demanding, just that your needs aren't being met, and that would be a cause for reflection and concern, and you may want to look into this deeper, which is what we're going to do. This is the Moon, and this could be a future outcome. That, to me, when I look at this card, which is kind of a card of desperation, needs not being met, you know, when something like this happens, and also up here, trapped, desperate, these are very extreme words I don't particularly like to use, but if that's the way you feel at this time, you can't ignore that. The thing is that those feelings, though they're very real, can be very negative. And negativity doesn't really help with attraction. It doesn't help with magnetism, charisma, that sort of thing, which would make you more attractive to any potential mate, any potential lover. Now there is ways to get out of that shifting mentality. The moon can be, in this sense, in context with the other cards, can be a more negative outcome, and it can have a reflection on attitude. So if somebody is in a very negative attitude, it just transfers and gets more intense and more intense, and it doesn't really leave you in a place where you're getting the positive outcomes that you're looking for. So we're going to go into more of that. Here it looks like, again, yeah, I'm seeing, I just want to go a little bit deeper into this. We may have to do quite a bit of reading into this. Looks like you're just not happy with the way things are, and maybe not happy with the way that you are emotionally and responding to things. And that could be. I've had that in my own life where I just wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with the way I was thinking about things. I wasn't happy with the way I was responding to people and to situations. And sometimes when that happens, you feel like you're in a bit of a spiral and you don't quite know how to shake it, because you're like, I didn't respond to that person well on Monday, and I didn't respond to that other person well on Tuesday, and then I didn't respond to that situation well on Wednesday. It just seems to be this kind of rolling, slow motion car crash, and you want to get out of that. You want to stop that as quickly as possible and right yourself and get back into the correct vibration. You want to get back to yourself, because when you see all this is resistance. This is not who you really are, and that's why it's coming up, and that's why you get so tense, and that's why it just doesn't feel good. Emotionally, though, you really want to have a change. You want to have that fire back. You want to have that self-worth back, and be secure. And maybe now is a judgment call that you have to make on yourself. Do you want to go forward with this kind of more negative, sad idea, or do you really want to make a change and get realigned to who you really are? So let's talk about that further. When I want to shuffle this a little bit. I did shuffle it before, but let's shuffle it again. Everybody. This is a reading about delving into, the nitty-gritty of things that we may not be so positive that we want to talk about with other people, but we can think about it and talk about it among close friends, and talk about it amongst the voices of yourself. You do. Everybody talks to themselves. Everybody talks to their own inner self with their inner voice. Let's see here. Forgiving and learning. Now this is a very relevant card. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And I think that's very, very important. That perhaps this past that you're dealing with, like I said, has just kind of entrenched itself. And you need to make peace with it so you can move on. And you can enjoy what's going on now instead of constantly relating, say, what's going on now with the past. Sure, you want to not ignore things that you've learned out of experience, for sure. But not every person you meet and not every interaction you have with somebody is an immediate carbon copy. You're not necessarily going to get the same results if something happens that's a little bit similar with different people at different times. So you have to release a little bit of that tension that you're holding on with the past. Let's go in a little deeper. Worth waiting for. A divine timing is at work in your love life. And I think maybe that shows up here because it is about time. It is about, you have to give yourself a chance to appreciate your present and to make peace with your past. I want to go into the other deck, and I'll come back to that deck in a little bit. I want to see other opinions. This is kind of a big deck to shuffle. I hope that this is resonating with you so far. Give me your comments. Tell me whether you like it or you don't like it, or if there's maybe some other questions that have been on your mind, especially regarding love. Okay, let's look here. We have love. Well, that is what the subject of the day is here, so let's go further. Purity. That's very interesting. Are the people that you're trying to date, are you looking for them to be, say, pure versions of something? I'm not saying you want them to be absolutely pure. Nobody who's an adult really is. But perhaps you may be looking, if somebody says that they have a stance, a political stance, say, for example, or they have an opinion about art or music or anything like that, or love or life, are you expecting them to be 100%, 100,000% committed to that without any deviation? Because that can be, I've met people like that. You know, you say one thing, you say, oh, I believe in such and such an idea. And then the moment that you slightly deviate from that, they get caught up in an argument with them. Oh, well, you said you were this, but you've deviated slightly here in your conversation, so you couldn't possibly be X, Y, and Z. So that's an expectation some people have of other people, where nobody is 100,000% of everything that they say they are. There is some room for a little bit of variation. So you want to make sure that when you're talking to people, you're giving them a little bit of leeway when it comes to that. I want to go to use another card here because that first card was love. Strength. So if you're not feeling completely aligned with yourself, you feel like your inner self is kind of wobbling inside. It's kind of a nervous energy. It's sort of a bad energy, and you really want to try to strengthen yourself. That can be done through meditation, quiet time, or even not quiet time. It can also be done through kind of a moving meditation. Maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to play piano, something like that. It helps realign yourself with who you really are, the things that you're really in touch with. Perhaps you really like to bake, and you haven't been able to do that. So you want to get back to doing something that makes you really feel good, makes you really feel strong, puts you back in your zone. The more you do that, the more you practice that, the better the outcome will be, the stronger you'll be. So try and find some activities that made you really feel good, that made you really feel accomplished. It doesn't really matter what it is. It doesn't matter if anybody thinks it's silly. Just do it. And, if it's paint by numbers, if it's coloring books, if it's roller skating, if it makes you feel good, if you feel you can do it, if it makes you feel strong, then you should incorporate that a little bit sometimes into your lifestyle, just to connect with yourself and the things that you love. And here it also says, children, your love life is being affected by children. Now, you may have a child, you may, the person you like or have had relationships may have had children, or it may be that you want children, and perhaps people that you have encountered don't particularly want children or don't want to raise the children the same way you want to raise them. You have to find somebody, if your love life revolves around children, if it's a major idea, then you really need to find somebody who's on the same page that you are. I want to go into this deck here, which is an oracle deck that I created. It's got a lot of different subjects. Some of them are love, some of them are not. We'll see. Again, give me your comments, like, subscribe if this is resonating with you, and tell me what you're thinking about this so far. Make peace with your past. How about that? You saw me shuffle them. That totally resonates with this. You have to come to grips with what was going on and move on into your future, because I think your future is going to be very bright. You seem to have the basic understanding, the basic tenets of, and strength. You have a lot of strength that you can pull from. You just have to get back to yourself and get aligned with yourself again, and then it all falls into place. Okay, Gemini, I think this really was quite revealing. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it for you, and I hope it gave you something to contemplate. And please like, subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you in the daily readings, and I will be doing other long-form readings in the future. Thank you very, very much, Gemini. Have a great day, and have a happy love life.